My dad blamed me for my mom's death. I told them the truth and it ended his marriage. The moment I was born, my dad practically gave me up to his sister. My mom died when she was giving birth to me. And my aunt told me he never recovered from that because he blamed me for her dying. It hurt a lot as a kid knowing the truth of what happened. He'd be at family events and would ignore my existence. When I was a little older he got more vocal about me killing her and he can't stand to look at my face. You can imagine the amount of therapy that put me in. I used to go to church crying because I was scared about going to hell for doing that to my mom. That's how much his words messed me up. But the crappy part was that I never stopped trying to be accepted by him. After my high school graduation he told me to never bother him again since he legally has no obligation to me anymore. He had been sending my aunt money to take care of me, but you'd expect that from a father. It was around this time when I finally started accepting that reality, so from there we moved on with our lives. I'm 27 now. My aunt doesn't talk to me about him. Sometimes my grandparents do and that's how I found out he got married. They were mad he didn't invite me to their wedding, but to me it didn't matter because we're not close. Weirdly, it was his wife who wanted to meet me. It's the first time ever that he wants to make contact and it was to pretty much say she wants me in their life. She doesn't know the real reason about why we're estranged, but he asked me to not say anything and maybe this could be a way to reconcile after all. The thing is, he was only doing it for her. That much was clear when we talked. I never actually agreed to this, but he still insisted on us meeting at their place because she really wanted to meet me. All she thinks is we were estranged for not getting along in my teenager years, going to college and losing touch because of life stuff. It pissed me off that he played it off as us just not talking for petty reasons, meanwhile the actual reason has damaged me for years. Well, guess what? I told her the truth. Everything he said to me. That he was never a parent to me, that my aunt was the one who brought me up. It was definitely a shock for her. The outcome was a disaster. Everyone has heard about this now and my grandma in particular told me she understands my anger. But this was his chance finding someone since losing my mom and now it's been put in jeopardy. My dad is devastated. They think it was too far, and that it has ruined his marriage. He claims that he was willing to include me in their lives, which could have been the start of our relationship. They say not only did I ruin any chance of a relationship between us but also possibly wrecked his marriage. She just doesn't agree at all with what he did and it could have been avoided if I didn't say anything. For me it was hard not to tell the truth after all the lies I heard him make, and it seemed like it was nothing serious. I couldn't ignore what happened after what he did. Was it the right call? I guess not since it put their whole marriage at risk after all. Update. Words can't express how much support I've received. Here's what you want to hear. They're splitting up. Heard it first from my grandma then from his wife, or I guess ex? She was legit crying on the phone when she called to tell me sorry for putting me in that position. Her and my dad had a longer conversation where he told her everything else he did, so she made the decision that can't stay with someone like him. She also wanted me to know how disgusted she is with him, and that she was thankful that I confessed the truth to her, which is something I really needed to hear. My dad is who he is, yeah, but regardless two people splitting their marriage because of what you said is a hard thing not to feel guilty about. This lady is heartbroken going through divorce just a few months after getting married, and she wanted to make the time to reassure someone else that they made the right choice. Unexpectedly though my dad wanted us to talk yesterday too. My girlfriend again didn't want me to. Trust me I get her point. She's the one who didn't want me having dinner with them in the first place. But we didn't know what he wanted to talk about, and what would that do to my mental health. It was probably a bad risk to take, but I met up with him. And yeah, I should listen to my girlfriend more when it comes to this stuff. First time in my life I think we had a conversation about my mom. How much he loved her, them being happy and excited about having a family. But then she died and he told me even if it's wrong, he can't ever not blame me because simply, if I hadn't been born, she'd still be here. He's only sorry for not completely staying away from me and saying horrible things growing up. While he wasn't saying this to be malicious since he did seem sincere, it was still an ouch for me. In the end we decided having a relationship with each other was never gonna happen and said goodbye. He at least apologized for trying to put me in that position. First good thing he ever did was tell me what happened with his wife wasn't my fault. Then I just went home and cried. Had my day to process, a short therapy session and support from both my aunt and girlfriend to get me through. The rest of my family is leaving me alone, at least so glad that in the end it was resolved. Not a total happy ending I know, but in the end it's better this way.